It's the Marc Clarke Morning Show. Healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Preparing students to demonstrate mastery of math state standards can feel like a dull, unending cycle of equations and practice problems. Unengaged, frustrated students can weigh on teacher confidence and lead to uncertainty about overall achievement. Two Ivy League-trained engineers observed this struggle and created a way to transform how students learn the fundamentals of math. Through the innovative Accoletics math program, EDA has helped more than 400,000 students achieve success on state-administered math tests and transformed the academic strategies and performance of schools nationwide. Accoletics' uniquely designed supplemental materials and tools are well aligned to your state standards and provide a clear path to exceed state proficiency standards. Through ongoing professional development, you will uncover common challenges and activate solutions that promise to improve student achievement in your school. By partnering with EDA and choosing Accoletics, you can start to see an unprecedented return on your investment in as little as one school year. Don't procrastinate on giving your teachers the tools to help students achieve their highest math potential. To learn how you can dramatically improve classroom instruction and learning, test scores, and student confidence, call, email, or visit Accoletics online today.
And welcome to the show. Welcome to the Marc Clarke Morning Show. So glad to have you this morning. Joining me, the business bully is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Dave Anderson. Oh, he's cool. Look at him now, boy. This boy, no, he's fine. Look at him.
Listen.
Business bully ain't taking no losses, baby. Look at this.
Listen, I'm taking no losses. Got my Royal Sea Moss popping. Great.
Look, man, I thought about you because one of our partners, Accoletics, he has an amazing program that really is revolutionary, and it's in school systems. I thought about you, Dave, because I said, man, we got to bring this to the people, right? When everybody suffering, with the lack of math skills, especially in our community, we need to make a version that parents can buy to, start this process. So he's wide open for it. I thought about you, and so you'll be helping me do that, my friend.
You already know.
I already know. And again, just like with the World Moss, if you are, you have a business, you have a product, you need some help in getting the word out. And also, all I ask is that it's a great product. That's all I ask. And then you contact me and my people, like the Business Bully, will help get the word out and make this thing a success. Today, it's Fashion Friday. Our special guest from Generation Typo, Dancel Brown, is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on, Dancel? How are you, sir?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, my friend. I saw you. I didn't realize, Dancel, you were on the television show with me. You didn't get a chance to hop in. The section was so short, but you were on when I was on the Great Day show. Also joining us, Bootsy Vegas is in the building. And what's up, Mr. Vegas?
Hello, everybody. Sorry for my Wi-Fi connection. Continue, Mr. Clarke.
And so we're talking fashion. It's Fashion Friday. We're celebrating Generation Typo. I wanted to, I'm tight today. I got to sadly have a funeral to go to, so we'll just probably do 10 to 10:30, excuse me. But Doncel and crew, I was like, when you talk about fashion, love them or hate them, I think we cannot ever forget this moment with our man Kanye a couple years ago with Sway.
I'm going to put Mark Parker all on that Summer Jam screen. And by the way, Mark Parker, yes, I will still accept an investment in Donda. I got some more ideas that don't involve shoes. But if you guys are investing in the arts, y'all want to invest in this school in Brazil, y'all want to go to Africa, I'm standing up and I'm telling you, I am Warhol. I am the #1 most impactful artist of our generation. I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google. Now, who's going to be the Medici family and stand up and let me create more? Or do you want to marginalize me till I'm out of my moment?
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
Kanye.
You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Kanye.
I've been doing this more than you.
Doing what
You
more
ain't
than
got.
me? Come on.
You ain't been doing the education.
Now, if I'm honest, I can't help but think of Dave Anderson because
Who dressed for the occasion? Who dressed for the occasion today too?
It's Fashion Friday.
He's misunderstood. And at the end of the day, you have to believe in yourself like Kanye believes in himself. And so you cut to 2 years later, and Kanye is what he said he is. He is
10
what he
billion.
said he was.
10 billion. Now, here's the interesting thing. I got to get this out, Mark, because if you don't know this, your audience might not know this.
Well, hold on, Dave. Before this, I know you're going to drop a gem, so I got to bring in. Speaking of gems, Miss T joins the conversation. Fashion and Miss T. What's going on, Miss T?
Hey, thanks for having me. Oh my gosh, I didn't know I was going to be surrounded by so many
handsome, intelligent, articulate, good-looking men like me.
Handsome black men.
Well, Miss T, again, as in Marc Clarke fashion, I just hit Miss T 4 minutes ago, and we've never met. But Miss T responded. Look at her, because like Dave taught me and Bootsy, you have to respond, Mark. You need to keep your phone on because you never know what that call's gonna be. So, okay, hold on, Bootsy. I know you're gonna drop a jewel, but Dave was getting ready to drop a jewel, Miss T.
Oh, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm just holding my phone up, and I'm agreeing with how good looking I am. Continue on, please.
Okay,
right,
awesome.
Take a second. 3-second pause.
Wait a minute. Miss T,
taking a selfie.
You're surrounded by arrogant black men, Miss T, so, welcome.
Oh, that's fine.
Houseway.
You got to have the confidence. If you don't believe in yourself, who else going to believe in you? So
that's right.
I mean, it starts with you first. You got to believe.
That's right.
I like you already, Miss T.
Am I allowed to curse on here?
Go ahead. Yes, cuss it up. It's Friday.
Oh,
we can cuss?
Shit.
Why not?
I was going to say, if you don't believe you the shit, then nobody else going to believe you the shit.
Well.
So.
I got to use the bathroom now.
All right, so jewel dropper, Dave, you were saying.
Well, first of all, I want to shout out to Miss T because the song says, I believe in you and me. See, there's duality. But that's not the jewel I wanted to drop, Marc Clarke. The Medici family got so frustrated with Da Vinci because Da Vinci had ADD, bipolar, and clinical depression, but those things did not exist. So they were going to pull money away from him. And in the same way that Kanye seems to be all over the place, a lot of that is ADD, bipolar, and clinical depression. Those things are a trade-off for genius because when you have a certain level of genius, there's certain parts of the brain that get tapped that also trigger other things. But nobody wants to talk about that because everybody just wants to write him off as crazy because he's not doing what the other Negroes are doing.
It's
Preach on it.
And it's interesting because, and I think, to be honest, you're right. The moment he said his moment, I think the saddest part about it is that I don't think black people understand the level, like what Sway was talking about and where Kanye is a whole different animal. And in fact, that moment catapulted it. This industry was frightened in that moment. They knew they had to respond in a way. Oh, we ain't gonna we're not putting Kanye. Louis Vuitton's like, we're not gonna put Kanye over here, but we will take Virgil Abloh because we can control him. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Adidas became, I guess, the family that supported Kanye.
Yep.
The Gap became the family that supported, because why? At the end of the day, it's about money. And
Yep.
so, crazy or not, everything he touches sells. So
but
anyway,
also control, because you can see Kanye is an unapologetic visionary. You know, the thing about Kanye is when he sees it, and he's not listening to nobody else. So I do think what Kanye is, they know they can't really control his thoughts, his process, and his passion. So I think that's something else with him as well, is that he always sees it first. And he's unapologetic about seeing it first. So
and that was the thing, and that's the thing about Black culture. When you talk about fashion, you talk about anything innovative, we're always the first to see it first. And the game was you peep New York, Chicago, you peep all these spaces, you steal that look, and you monetize it, right? And oh hell no, we ain't letting you come in here and do it, because you have an advantage over us because you are it. So I say all that to say, so Doncel, your brand, Generation Typo, tell us about your brand, tell us about what you're doing, and then also Miss T will hear from you, because it is Fashion Friday. Yes.
And somebody dressed up for it.
Right, I would have came different if I realized that this is the caliber. I would have dressed a little different.
Man, Dave,
look, man, you have good looks and youth on your side. Me and Dave.
But to add on that piece, I mean, everybody, calls you crazy until it works, and then you're a genius. Right? I think that, you see that with what Kanye is doing, and just, you can't doubt the self-love. So, but Generation Typo, this is something that honestly changed my life over the past year. It was an idea that I had over quarantine and just being stuck in the house, literally just trying to get through it mentally. My big outlet is creative. And I was a graphic designer for a long time. So I wanted to put together something that would create dialogue throughout the different generations. Because I would hear all the time, whether it be from my parents or in my career, this big difference of, based on the year that you're born, we have to think differently, right? Or that's what's wrong with this generation. You don't know this. Or back in my day, we had to do this. And the funny part about it was it always happened no matter what level you looked at. My parents would say it to me. My grandparents would say it to my parents. And I was like, well, can we create something that just sparks that conversation? And utilizing the design field that I have and getting into fashion, I decided to put these different phrases on these shirts and hoodies and, different pieces of material, to where when you walk past, you would say like, hey, like, what is that? Like, why is there a red underline, even though the words aren't spelled incorrectly? And it's just to show that no matter who's looking at it, everyone can have their own opinion and view that it's wrong, but it doesn't mean that it is. So it's to spark that conversation and hopefully drive that dialogue, because I think that's what's missing the most, is the conversation.
And how can people get your stuff? Is there, I'm sure there's a website, how do you prefer them to get it so you get the biggest bang?
Yes.
Profit, baby.
Right. Directly at generationtypo.com. That's our main website. We also have all of our social medias under the same handle, which is Generation Typo. And we have some stores set up on Instagram and Facebook as well. So you can get them right from there. And
so Miss T, I'm sorry, Boosie, got a question?
Yeah, I would love to know, what does the name Generation Typo mean? Like, I love it. I love what it, I love what it could possibly insinuate. So could you just, explain to the listeners what that actually means as well? I'm sorry, Mark.
No, absolutely. So generation being that identifying piece of really what we were trying to go after with all the different generations you hear about, right? Whether it's baby boomers, Generation X, millennial, Gen Alpha at this point. So we wanted to make sure that we had that name to symbolize, hey, generation is what we're going after. And then typo is something everyone associates with that red underline and something being wrong. So we took that and we flipped it to showcase that the red underline is actually just the opinion of whoever the system is reading it. And the logo is split in half because it shows that those differences are what separate us. So the actual logo is separated.
I love it. I love it. Well thought out. And again, we're going to come back and talk about that. I want to get Miss T on, because Miss T, you tapped on something. We tapped on this the other day, guys. And I think I wanted to definitely, as the beautiful woman representing, and also someone who basically helps women with their self-esteem and their fashion. So you called us handsome, but come on now. We know we ain't that handsome. But at the end of the day, we believe.
Speak for yourself, bro.
We understand. We understand that you have to love yourself. And something, Miss T, which you don't know, me and Dave have had the weight loss surgery. Bootsy's a 2-time cancer survivor and also has lost weight. But
70 pounds.
something that what I discovered, and Dave, we guys, we haven't talked about this that much. What I discovered, Miss T, was when I talk about when I look at myself in weight, I think I feel like a lot of guys, even though I was 370 blank pounds, and even though I had gained all this weight, in my mind, I really didn't look at myself that way. I discovered, I think some men almost have an inflated sense of self. I think women could be the finest woman in the world and feel a certain way about themselves. I think guys could be 300, have the legs of a 100-pound man, be 372 pounds, and still feel like he can hang with the finest man in the world. It's like and I think comfort also. I kept asking myself, well, why did I lose weight and gain it back and not really? Because comfort, I was comfort. I have a beautiful family, I had a beautiful wife. I basically didn't feel bad, so I was like comfortable at 300 plus pounds. And I think that's what didn't make me push myself down. Whereas women, on the other hand, could apparently have it all from the outside, but they still battle with it because society, the world is messaging them. So, Miss T, number one, talk about that. And then also, how do you get women to understand how beautiful they are? I have 3 daughters, and it is so frustrating. The insecurity. I mean, they're surrounded by love, but you can still see it. The doubt. The dealing with guys. I see certain situations where I'm like, there's no way that I would have put up with that. But women put up with it every day. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Miss T.
Yeah, because like you said, they're surrounded by it, right? So you have to definitely start young. This programming starts young. So the older you get, the harder it is to reprogram yourself. That's with anything. So if you don't feel good about you, if no one is teaching you and instilling and planting self-love in you from very early on, then it's hard for women to, I'm 47 years old. So when I'm 47 and I don't feel good about myself, I felt like this my entire life, right? So I have to reprogram my mind. You have to reprogram your thinking, all those things to believe in yourself. But then social media and pop culture is telling me I should look like this, or I should be this person, or I should be this. And so that makes it even harder. And it's even more harder for women, right? So men get to show up as themselves. They don't have as much pressure as women to be all the things, to look great and to be the mom. And if you don't want to be a mom, then something's wrong with you. And if you want to have a career, then something's wrong with you. So we have all these expectations put on us and how our lives should go. But you guys have freedom to live as you want, and so that's why it's harder for us. That's why if we're 300 pounds, we don't feel good about ourselves. But if a guy is 300 pounds, he feels good about himself because nobody's pressuring him to lose weight. There's no pressure. You're not going to show up to Thanksgiving dinner and people going to ask you questions like, why have you gained so much weight? Or you don't show up to Thanksgiving dinner and people are asking you, where's your husband? Or where's your boyfriend? Or when are you going to get married? Or when are you going to have kids? So we have all these pressures put upon us. And so that's why it's harder for us to have that self-esteem. So with that being said, I know this. I started off as strictly a stylist. I dressed women. I made them look amazing. But I knew that as I worked with women, I saw a greater need. And it wasn't just putting pretty clothes on women. I could dress a woman all day long, but she felt horrible on the inside. And that projects in your life. It projects in your relationships that you have with men. It projects in the jobs that you do, the jobs that you don't do, the careers that you don't start, the businesses you don't start, the friendships you have with women. We talk about why women are so catty with each other because they don't love themselves. They don't love themselves. So they're constantly having these battles with each other because it's deeper than just women don't like each other. It goes deeper than that. So I saw a bigger picture. And so I moved my business. I was working a full-time job. September 21, during COVID, I quit my job and started running my business full-time. It's hard as hell. It's hard. I tell people all the time, if somebody tell you it's easy, they're lying. It's hard, but it's something that I know that I needed to do, not only for myself, but for other women, the women that I was coming in contact with, and the women that I knew that they knew. And so I see the bigger picture. And for me, I consider myself just not a stylist, but a transformational coach, because I work with you from the inside out. We're going to tackle those.
Oh,
We'll figure
we talk
out.
about tackling.
Yo, you pop back out. You came back, girl. Go ahead.
Oh, so we're gonna tackle your insecurities first, and then we'll work on your style and what that looks like, and how you should show up, how you want to show up to the world, and what that looks like for you. And we talk about not just like putting on clothes, but I help women to embrace their bodies and where they are in their lives, and dressing for your body type. Like, I don't believe that all women can wear anything. Like, I'm a thin woman, I can't wear anything. You have to dress to your body type, and that's another. I educate women on that as well. So with me, you get the entire package. You're not going to just get dressed, but there's some self-confidence coaching there that you're going to get when you come work with me.
And look at Miss T. I just called her in 2 minutes. She got that outfit together, y'all. Pow! And so
it's just a jacket that was hanging on my rack.
Just a little something.
It's
together.
Playing around.
And so, guys, when you talk about fashion, especially in the Black community, shoes play a big part. I'll start with you. I was going to call you D, if that's okay. Doncell, were you a big tennis shoe culture person, and does that tie into your designs and that look? And then, of course, Bootsy and Dave, because I was not. My mother told me the first time I got a pair of designer shoes or name brand shoes, it was a long time. I think I was 12 or 13, and it was a Christmas. My mother got me some black low top Converse. Now, Nikes had just come out, and my mom said, I ain't paying no damn $20 for no tennis shoes. And so, therefore, I was a Skips guy. But anyway, Doncell, tell us about the tennis shoes. When you can buy tennis shoes at the grocery store, you know your ass is not going to be that cool at school.
Listen.
Doncell, tell us about the shoe influence on the culture.
Oh, no, it's definitely important. And I didn't even learn that until when I moved back to the DMV, right? Because I was in Arizona for a while because I was a military brat and we were moving around. And there it was just Vans and like Nike socks, like everybody wearing the same thing, cargo shorts. I came back here my freshman year of high school, and I learned quickly, like, shoes are everything. Like, if you didn't have the newest Jordans coming out, or if you didn't know what the models were called, like, you just weren't in, right? So then you kind of feed off of the environment that you're in, and I actually got really into the sneaker culture and learning about it and just how big it is from a resale market, and then trying to find the shoes and people standing in line and bots. It's real deep, but it starts with, I think for me, the shoes, right? Because you're kind of building up on that. You can have the best outfit, and if the shoes are a little off, everyone's just going to talk about how the shoes don't match, even if everything else looks dope. So yeah, definitely super important, especially now because the styles are mixing, right? Like streetwear and high fashion is kind of a normal thing together now. So you have even more complexity with how you put together your outfits.
So Dave, I think you're the young, you and Doncell are the younger guy. So Dave, talk about it, and also talk about, I know on one hand, some people are like, well, Black people stand in line for Nike, but they ain't da. Talk to us about that tie-in to, like, almost, and on one hand, it's almost like watching the stock market when you look at the shoes, whatever, but not.
Yeah, I mean, the thing of it is, I have never in my life stood in line for a pair of Nikes. I, like you, had a mother who believed in Bobos at the end caps of the shopping bag.
Bobos.
$1.49. They make your feet feel fine.
Bobos.
They don't make them feel great. They make them feel fine. Right?
Word.
The other part of that is I had Bobos. I had Coke bottle glasses because, I couldn't get the fly joints. Right. But my mama would say to me, listen, you ever see, she showed me Stevie Wonder's Hotter Than July album cover. And then she showed me a bunch of Elton John album covers. And she was like, yeah, his glasses cost $5,000. I was like, $5,000. She said, one day you'll be able to do that. And so I have a sneaker collection to heal my inner child. I have more Christian Louboutin red bottom sneakers than most women have red bottom heels in their closet, simply because I like that. But I'm not a suit and tie guy. So, I'm wearing a sweatshirt from the university where I teach, and I'm wearing a $300 brim, and I have 1,500 Louboutin sneakers that I'm not wearing right now, but I'm going to put on when I go to see the doctor in a minute. Like, I think it's important for us to feel important, and when you look good, you feel good. That goes for everybody, regardless of race, socioeconomic status, or whatever. But the fascination of what it takes to keep up with the Jenkins, damn the Joneses, the Jenkins is the problem. And the Jenkins are busy taking money out of their community and giving it to Nike. And that mindset needs to change. Like, I have my own line of sneakers as well. I think we start to look within and we start rejecting those norms because there's a bunch of old white men who sit in boardrooms saying to black people what black people like via messaging and through influencers. So I think that's where that comes in. We just want to be popular. We want to fit in because we have been ostracized for standing out.
Bootsy.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I am super fashionably challenged. You know what I mean? So fashion may not be my expertise. Also, I grew up in a house. I have a twin brother. I have 5 sisters. Money was really tight in our house, so we didn't have a lot of that as well. So I am just learning. But I will say I have a strong appreciation for creatives in general and fashion creators. I really, really appreciate. So I'm just getting the information from T and Darcel. So I'm gonna fall back like dominoes.
And so it's interesting because I'm going to have Miss T and Doncell have the final words, but these are just two. These are kind of off topic a little bit, but I just want to throw them out there for you guys. Number one, I was thinking like Dave said, and I tell my kids this all the time, and you guys, well, Dave and I know Boots, you both teach. I know you guys do the same thing. I'm always telling the kids what the story is, the story isn't. What you think is the story isn't the story. So I have a couple of those, those apps that aggregate news, right? And the other day it popped up that Soulja Boy was the first person. Soulja Boy was the first person to spell words with money. That was the headline. And that wasn't on a like a hip hop or whatever. It wasn't World Star. It was on a news app.
A credible news app.
A credible news app, which again, when I saw that, I was like, wow, really? They're trying to make us look crazy, right? They're trying to make us look crazy. Just like this recent case, I thought about you, Dave. I think about you often. Don't take it the wrong way. This case of the blogger getting hit with that $4 million lawsuit, right? Now, the funny part is my daughter on the way to school this morning asked me my thoughts on that. And sadly, I know she's like, every time I ask this damn man a question, he goes off on some damn tangent. I just was asking her, I really don't care, Dad. I said, well, yeah, that's the story, but that's not really the story. I said, they don't care enough about anybody talking about Cardi B. Okay, what this is really about is they're going to try to regulate these super successful streams because that's where all the good information's going. That's where the truth is going. The mainstream media, you don't see no stories breaking on mainstream media that you didn't know about, but you pull up on a podcast and you might find out something you didn't know. Like what Bully just dropped about Kanye and the families, and lastly, and a prime example to me is when you talk about performance enhancing drugs, right? They're talking about in the news right now, it's Barry Bonds and so not getting in because they use PEDs, right? But the funny part is the man who went to jail for it, for Balco, notice he ain't never on ESPN. Never. They don't never have him on. Why? Because if he goes on ESPN, he's going to say 98% of athletes take drugs and the drug is so advanced, they don't have tests for them. And so blah, 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 blah. So he ain't never on ESPN, but he might be on the Marc Clarke Morning Show. He might be on Bootsy's podcast. He might be on Miss T's show. So they're starting to look at it like, okay, we need to start coming in and regulating this thing because, so anyway, now,
hold on, let me say this. The key is, and I think it's such a great point is, more people are looking to them for their news than normal news stations. The way people are consuming the news and getting it around in this area in general, that is the key. They're the number one news source now, and they can't control it. Continue, Mark.
And sadly, she ain't got $4 million, so
yeah,
ain't no more Christmas. Done. Ain't no more Christmas for 20 years. Okay, so Miss T, as we wrap up, I want you to tell people how they can contact you, again, what you do, and how they can get in touch with you. And then, Doncell, you'll have the final word, and we'll be out this blah.
Well, first, thanks for having me here. It was such a pleasure. You can find me on social media. I'm on Instagram at Fashion@Miss T, Facebook, T Wright. My website is misst-.com. And I'm just so excited for this journey for myself because I know I have a lot of work to do. I am the best person for the job. And because I love what I do, I love transforming women. I like to see how women leave me when they come to me, and when they leave, it's just a great feeling. Women, we need each other right now. It's a great time for Black women. I work with a lot of Black women. I work with all women, but my passion is really for Black women. We are in a space where it's time for us to take over. and we have a lot of healing to do. And I just want us to be able to shine and put ourselves out there and do it unapologetically and show up as ourselves and show up fabulous. Like, we are amazing. Black women are dope, and we need to know that. And I'm here to bring that out of us from the inside out. Like, we need to feel good about ourselves, and we need to do that in a big way and in a big space.
And so let me just add this real quick too, guys. This connection is a prime reason why, number one, when you start something and you got that passion, Miss T, you have to keep on going. You said you started with September, was it?
I started September 21 full time. So I was doing it on a part-time basis, and in 21 I started full time. And so, so connections today, I got my man on. I got Doncell coming on. We're doing fashion, and I said, you know what? I want to add somebody else. I just go to Instagram. I just type in fashion. I look, Miss T's page was popping, and boom, I called you. Next thing you know, you're on. Who knows who's watching this? Who knows whatever? So again, I think the key is when whatever you're doing, and many of us are doing many things, is keep on grinding, keep on believing, and know that things are going to happen. And so, Doncell, tell us about how we can buy some of these clothes. I challenge everybody to buy at least a piece of clothing from my man. And Miss T, if she's selling something, to go follow her and just buy something. I do have merchandise. See, you know what I'm saying? Got the merch. Well. Buy a little merch, man. Support the people who are on this show, because you support them, they'll support you. So go ahead, Doncell.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can find right at generationtypo.com. And for those who love to use Instagram and Facebook, we have shops set up on both of those platforms as well. So you just type in Generation Typo, it'll pull right up to the shop. And then we're doing a couple fun stuff coming up next month. We're going to be in DC Fashion Week again. So if you're in the area and get some tickets, come through. And we're going to be previewing our next collection.
That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead and support. And you know what? We need to sell some more Business Bully books. Sell It Like Jesus.
Yes. Yes, it's an amazing book. Get it right now. Principles and Strategies of World's Greatest Salesman. Change your life wherever fine books are sold, or at businessbullyshow.com.
And Dave also is a supporter of businesses. Dave, is this the brim that the brother did? Is this that one or not that one?
No, these are all of my brims are black owned. This is Wear Brims. You can go to wearbrims.com. It's my man Archie out of Atlanta. Phenomenal company. They ship to you. They have a lot of little knickknacks and touches to them. They feel good on your head. I love it. So.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, the Bootsy Vegas, who, by the way, Bootsy's program, again, in Southeast D.C., Ward 7 and 8, is sending kids to college. It's got like a 99% college going to college rate. Don't let his good looks fool you, ladies. He's putting in work in the community.
Yes. Also, we have a great day today. Today, my program is responsible for commentating the high school games in PG County and DC today. We are commentating the high school game of the week in Washington, DC today and Monday. And a supreme shout out to Allison Seymour, this young lady that Mark may know. They saw our story on her show, reached out to us, and we're now responsible for commentating the high school game. So it's a great day.
That's what I'm talking about. That's right. And she's calling me now. Guys, thank you for joining us. Great show. And again, have a great weekend, everybody. And Monday, we got my man is in the building, Wayne's World. We're going to talk music. I'm talking about music for real, for real. You guys want to hop in? We're going to go all the way back to the beginning.
How far?
Quincy Jones, all the way back to the drums. We're going back to the drums, y'all. And so that'll be Monday. Wayne's World. Wayne, from Spur of the Moment is going to join us. And so again, everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Great weekend.
You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers.